Yo! Yo!
We're here gathered today to really reconnect as Afrikki.
Our first verse is brought to us by the late Martin Luther King, who said, "The arc of the moral history is long and bent towards justice."
Afrikki was started in about 2017, and Afrikki was started to really bring together a platform for African social movements.
Afrika, Afrika, para lenye mali nyingi, mabeberu ya Ulaya wanalilia sana. Viva Afrika, viva!
This has been a long fight. It has been started by previous freedom fighters, and then now we arrive and working on their shoulders, try to move the movement and to continue the struggle.
You can find a pan-Africanist with an ultra-right person shoulder to shoulder in trying to compound the difficulties of the people. And I'm very happy that we are here from French-speaking countries, Portuguese-speaking countries, and English-speaking countries trying to consolidate a common agenda.
The journey of pan-Africanism has been a tough one. It has been a journey of pain.
We've been thinking about how the connections among activists has to go beyond just the gathering here.
It has been a journey also that has been made easy by the giants on whose shoulders we stand right now. The shoulders of Patrice Lumumba, the shoulders of Steve Biko, the shoulders of Samora Machel.
Par rapport à l'évolution du panafricanisme, ce que je vois, c'est qu'aujourd'hui, autant on a une partie des jeunes qui sont très engagés, c'est essentiel. Parce qu'on a besoin de ces engagements, parce qu'aujourd'hui, l'Afrique fait face à beaucoup de régimes totalitaires et autoritaires qui bradent les droits des citoyens, qui les privent de liberté fondamentale, alors qu'aujourd'hui, on est arrivé à un stade, on est en 2024, et les citoyens ont de plus en plus conscience de leurs droits. Et aujourd'hui, ils ont envie de les mettre en œuvre et de les exécuter.
Je veux une Afrique libre et unie.
This period here at Afrikki has been one of the most cathartic experiences I've had. It's always a joy, it's always a soul satisfaction event when you are in communion and in unity and solidarity with other African activists, with pan-African activists who center pan-Africanism in their work.
Africa is a superpower, but nobody will let us understand that. And that's why one of the speakers has said, Africa is not stupid.
So comrades, come rally, and the lost fight, let us face the international league, unite the human race.
We were united with a vision, but divided by the system. Kings and queens living in this kingdom. No to tribalism and fighting over religion. What to the fajot when you rise by the topple in them.
Ça va faire mal quand nous serons unis. Ça va faire mal quand nous serons unis. Ça va faire mal quand nous serons ensemble. Ça va faire mal. Ça va faire mal.
Wanatuchonganisha, wanatuhangaisha, lakini kesho tutakuwa umoja.
Why Africa twate?
Unis dans l'amour, la paix et la diversité, protégés par l'esprit des hommes qui nous ont engendrés. L'Afrique est libre de penser son humanité, c'est la main dans la main.
The journey of Afrikki has been really remarkable. Out of very few resources, very little outside support. The movements, especially the anchor movements of Afrikki, which is Yen Amar from Senegal, Baile Citoyen from Burkina Faso, and also, of course, the Lucha movement from the Democratic Republic of Congo. These are our three anchor movements, and they've shown us the vision and the principles for why we're coming together and how we can support one another as social movements across the African continent, but also throughout the Black diaspora.
2
years I was fighting for my right to become a lawyer, and the reason why I wasn't was because I was an activist.
In that there's not sufficient identity created around a long-term project or vision, it happens that when they get before power, because they have not been able to develop the tools of resistance over a period of time, it breaks apart.
There is a different perception out there on what an activist is. And that is not just for me. When you talk to the hardship of activism or activism of activists themselves, there is a perception that they're being subused. So people are not willing enough to understand that a young man out of a slum in Nairobi, a young man out of a slum in Kinshasa would want to stand up for their own rights.
Les plus grands freins à cette lutte, c'est en fait toutes sortes d'emprisonnements. Personnellement, j'ai subi cela. Toutes sortes de freins, non seulement qui viennent de nos ennemis, mais de freins aussi qui viennent des personnes qui, en réalité, devaient nous soutenir dans cette lutte. Et là, je pense à ceux qui essaient de nous décourager dans la lutte. Je pense à ceux-là qui ont tellement de sympathie pour nous qu'ils essaient de nous demander d'arrêter la lutte sans tenir compte du fait qu'il n'y a que la lutte qui libère et que la lutte que nous sommes en train de mener, nous ne la menons pas seulement pour nous, mais nous la menons pour eux et pour des générations à venir.
African women in the front line.
Juristes et enseignants, mécaniciens et maçons, debout Africa, c'est le combat de notre génération. C'est le combat de toute une génération.
The biggest and proudest achievement was to be able to see that the many other activists on the continent that have met each other online, that have heard of others in the newspapers, to be given opportunities to meet in person.
Down with patriarchal ideologies, down. Down with injustices, down. Forward with women ideologies in Africa, forward.
The biggest challenge is, as an activist, sometimes we tend to fight each other, not uniting and creating a formidable and genuine alliance to fight the status quo. So for me, nimekuwa nikiona not uniting our struggles and playing different roles apart, which will be when to unite and to let our heads together, we can do great things.
Afrikki, in its design, was never intended to become what it's becoming. It was a meeting of activists wanting to learn from each other, wanting to share resources, wanting to share experiences. And we understood that it was important to have a formal space where all activists in the many domains they're working in to feel free to have a home where they can meet, where they can exchange and build Africa. This is why Afrikki, in its formation, we met, activists met first time in Ouagadougou actually, around the Cine de Droit Libre, where discussion started on how to make this struggle more modern. And from Ouagadougou, it went to Dakar, back in Kinshasa, then back in Dakar, where we had the first great big UPEC meeting, which was a formalization of the launch of Afrikki as a network.
Viva Africa, viva! Viva! Viva Africa, viva!
Viva! When you understand how the world is functioning, I think there's only a greater call to be involved in something greater than oneself, which is to try and make Africa a better place. And this continent of ours today requires from all of us a level of engagement that can only push us in a way of looking for solutions rather than staying in a space of agony or desperation.
This gathering is important because the process of Afrikki is essential to the freedom of African people. This process and this gathering that we are in right now is a pan-African gathering that is bringing social movement processes from across the globe, including the continent of Africa and the diaspora, in a decision-making process that includes work, that includes liberation, that includes freedom, that includes strategy. And so it is necessary, and that is why it's critical.
Pour réaliser les États-Unis d'Afrique. Un seul bateau avec de vrais commandos pour éviter de se piquer dans le dos.
So this gathering is very important one because it's about our reconnection and our recommitment. It's also a place where the steering committee can sort out some very big issues related to our governance. It is also the springboard for our big event we should be holding every 2 years called the UPEC. So this is a very, very important movement gathering for it sort of sets our work and our pace for the next 2 to 3 years.
Je suis Rebecca Kabou, je suis activiste au sein du mouvement La Lucha en RDC et je suis membre du comité Afrikki.
The future for Afrikki for me is exciting because I know for sure, I know for a fact that the future of the world will be happening here in Africa.
Étudiants, activistes et artistes, économistes et chercheurs, juristes et enseignants, mécaniciens.
Kama mjumbe wa kongamano hili na kwa kweli kwa utashi wangu katika siku ambazo nimekuwepo hapa, yapo masuala muhimu ambayo yameweza kuibuka kama sehemu ya mijadala iliyoibuka katika kongamano lenyewe kwa ujumla. Lakini kubwa zaidi kuliko yote ni kupata uzoefu mpya wa kimapambano wa wanaharakati vile vile wana mapinduzi. Wana mapinduzi si chaguo, ni shuruti kulingana na hali unayokutana nayo. It's not a question of choice. We are not choosing to be revolutionaries. We are not choosing to be activists. We are subjected by the condition that we are facing in, by the condition that our people are facing in. So if I have to go back 10 years, I think I'll do the same.
L'Afrique bouge, bouge, Afrique est élément, le monde bouge, bouge, dès qu'on engage à motema, ma belle.
Cette réunion, ce meeting, nous l'avons voulu pour que les gens se reconnectent. Et je pense que la reconnexion, elle est déjà faite. Déjà, les principaux mouvements qui ont composé la naissance d'Afrique. Aujourd'hui, le ballet citoyen est là. Y'en a marre est là, Lucha est là. Et nous avons pu nous connecter nous-mêmes. Et reconnecter aussi l'ensemble des mouvements qui sont issus, qui sont des émanations de ces trois mouvements-là. Parce que ce sont ces mouvements-là qui ont démarré. Mais si on combat en rang dispersé, mais nous ne sommes pas efficaces.
Je fais partie de l'organisation, le collectif de la Troisième Voie des Comores. Et je fais partie du mouvement Afrikki depuis sa création en 2018. Donc c'est un mouvement qui réunit l'ensemble des mouvements citoyens africains. Et nous existons donc depuis 2018. Nous avions l'ambition d'organiser une rencontre qui réunit tous les mouvements sociaux membres d'Afrikki tous les 2 ans. Et ce que nous avons réussi à faire en 2020, mais malheureusement avec l'épidémie du Covid, nous avons été contraints de réduire un peu nos ambitions.
C'est très important pour des militants que nous sommes, venus de divers pays avec des luttes qui très souvent se convergent comme sont divergentes. C'était important pour nous de nous retrouver en tant qu'Africains pour discuter de nos luttes, pour discuter des réalités de nos pays et voir comment est-ce qu'on peut mutualiser nos stratégies, comment est-ce qu'on peut se donner des conseils, partager nos expériences afin que ça puisse aider les nouvelles générations, les nouveaux mouvements citoyens qui sont en train de venir dans le réseau Afrikki.
Number one, even back to baby to your loins still I come. They should start at Hawaii, reveals your boom creator of the universe. You are the alien race, fire number one, motokoto one, Nikombo Badeya, Chum Kaki Chum, Take Kaki Te, Yen Kaki Gen, Nechen Mi Wale. Alien race, fire number one, Samago Chomani, Amila Muni, Chum Kaki Chum, Take Kaki Te, Yen Kaki Gen, Nechen Mi Wale. You are the alien race, fire number one, motokoto one, Nikombo Badeya, Chum Kaki Chum, Take Kaki Te, Yen Kaki Gen, Nechen Mi Wale. Nini ndiyo damu muko ready kumwaga sisi ndio jeshi, jeshi. Fire, fire, fire. We say burn Babylon, burn Babylon, burn Babylon right now. Fire, fire, fire. We say burn Babylon, burn Babylon, burn Babylon. Get to hear Afrikki.